19 years, the team that has been in first place in the NL Central on September 1st has won the division. The Bucks are in first on the first. So you do the math. The Pirates look to raise it on Root Sports next.
PNC Park is the place to be this Sunday afternoon as the Pirates get set to wrap up the homestand with a chance to sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. They won the first two of this three-game series. And as a result, the National League Central Division standings look like this. A game in front of the Cardinals, a chance to win game number 80 and get a two-game lead over their division rivals. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Walk, I'm Tim Neverett. Robbie Innsmukowski will join us in just a little bit. As far as this series is concerned, the Pirates have 10 wins. That guarantees them a season series victory over the Cardinals. They've done an exceptional job against St. Louis.
They really have. They've dominated in almost all categories, especially, I think, when you look at what the hitters have done. You know, the Cardinals are all about their offense. When you hear people talking about them, it's how good their hitters are. Well, look what the Pirates have been doing on offense. Runs per game, almost 5. Look at the extra base hits. Compare that to what the Cardinals have done. The Pirates, when it comes to having to beat the team in front of you, they have done that.
They have done that. It's September 1st. The Pirates are in first place. In the 19 years, they've had 3 divisions. The team in first place in the division has won it 17 of the 19 years. Chris Johnson gets his first Major League start today with the Pirates. He came in relief in his Major League debut on the 18th in a 16-inning game against the Diamondbacks. It was a hard-luck loss, and Johnson pitched very, very well.
Oh, he sure did. His command of all of his pitches that day was outstanding. The fastball was in the low 90s. He was moving it to both sides of the plate. He had the changeup and a good slider that he could also move to both sides of the plate.
Well, Chris Johnson, the left-hander, gets the start today for the Pirates in the finale of this 3-game series. A chance for the Buccos to sweep. And the new-look Pirates helping out quite a bit. Marlon Byrd getting it done. John Buck back behind the plate. And Justin Morneau is going to make his first start as a Pirate. Pittsburgh Pirate Justin Morneau takes the field, starting at first base today. Arrived during the game last night and is active and ready to start here this afternoon at PNC Park. Kids from the Miracle League on the field, visiting with the big league players prior to the start of this one. A great thrill it is. And the Pirates so very much involved with the Miracle Leagues, helping to construct fields and a lot more. Well, Justin Morneau looking good in the Bucco uniform. Let's take a look at St. Louis lineup. Written up by Mike Matheny today. Leading off, Matt Carpenter back at second base. Shane Robinson in right. Matt Holliday batting third. Alan Craig, the cleanup man. Career against the Pirates, a .316 hitter. He has 25 RBIs in 44 games against the Pirates. Molina bats next, then David Freese, the third baseman. John Jay in center, Pete Cosmos at short. And the pitcher, Joe Kelly, will bat ninth. And making his first major league start is Chris Johnson.
Take a look at his numbers from Indianapolis, brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet's won a lot of stuff in Indy, by the way, over the years. You realize that. But anyway, those are the Indy numbers.
500,
and why he is being called up. Just a fine season, 10-4, low ERA. The walks are not too bad. That 43 walks, 135 innings. That's a pretty good number. And that's one of the things I think that I was really impressed with him about. We said that a little bit during the Open, was his command of his pitches. He shows that kind of command this afternoon. He's going to have a good game.
Yeah, that 2.39 ERA led the International League this year. So folks excited to see this guy at first base. Rest of the Bucco defense. Left field, Marlon Byrd today. Garrett Jones in right. Alvarez and Mercer, Walker and Morneau. And John Buck doing the catching. John Buck went 3 for 3 last time he made a start. This was his first start for the Pirates.
Big catcher, Byrd in the outfield.
First pitch of the ball game misses for ball one. We're underway.
All the new additions in the ball game. Morneau, he's pretty old school, isn't he?
He's got the flip up glasses. Carpenter launches one, and back is Jones, and this ball is off the top of the wall. McCutchen retrieves it, and Matt Carpenter in with his league leading 44th double. Not how Johnson wanted to get this game underway, but Carpenter has been one of the National League's best at doing just this.
He turned on an inside fastball. The ball right on the inside corner. He's trying to get something on his hands to jam him with. Jones, they worked together in the outfield pretty well. Jones went back in case there was a play to make, and McCutchen came over for the rebound.
Nobody out, runner at second base. Robinson the hitter. Ball one. .44 doubles, leads the National League. Pirates have outscored the Cardinals 12-1 in this series so far. 1-0 pitch. Robinson takes a strike. When we first saw Chris Johnson, beg your pardon. He's pitching to Shane Robinson. We first saw Chris Johnson on the 18th of this month, coming out of the bullpen in a game with the Diamondbacks. Pitched 6 solid innings. You're not often going to see a reliever pitch that many innings in a ball game, but he did. He took a hard luck loss.
He tried to backdoor his breaking ball, just curl it over the outside corner, left it out there a little too far. The adrenaline has to be really pumping through his veins this afternoon, even more so maybe than his first appearance in the big leagues. Situation being what it is.
3 balls and a strike.
This game for first place. And we're in the home stretch.
A very pivotal game today. Another big crowd here at PNC Park. Last night, the biggest crowd of the season, second largest crowd ever in this ballpark. 3-1. Inside corner, good for strike 2.
The 3-1 pitch. He had to throw a strike, but he still put it right on the edge.
Johnson's 3-2 pitch coming. Back.
Right now, if you're Johnson, you just want to concentrate on the hitters, get these next 3 guys out. If that happens and the run ends up scoring, so be it. It's just 1 run, no big deal. If you can strand him, obviously that's great too. But don't get too carried away trying to stop 1 run from scoring and end up walking, people. You don't want to do that kind of stuff early in the ball game.
First and second and nobody out. The Cardinals setting up shop, and this is not where Johnson wants to be, with Holliday and Craig lurking with runners in scoring position. At least 1 now with Carpenter at second base, and now 2 men on and nobody out.
Stay away from the big inning. The leadoff double, that puts you in a bad spot, but it's really not that big of a deal if you let that 1 run score. But you got to get the next guys out. No walks. Make them hit. And now the problem has gone just a little bit bigger because of the base on balls. Now he's got to try and get a double play from Holliday, which happens quite often, but Holliday could also pop one into a gap or down a line. And now they've scored a couple of runs and Holliday's in scoring position, and that's how the big inning comes about.
Holliday leads the league in grounding into double plays. 28 times he's done it. Chris Johnson checks the runner at second base. Now the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes, and John Buck needs a word. Chris Johnson off to a shaky start here in the first inning. Johnson arrived here yesterday. Pirates not announcing him as the starter till today, once the rosters were allowed to expand.
Tough spot for a youngster, as I was saying earlier. Pennant race, everything's on the line. You're coming in here, just being activated. It's not always a surprise when somebody has a little control problems in these circumstances. It can be tough not to.
2 on, nobody out. 2-0 count to Holliday. The right center field. McCutchen gets behind it, makes the catch. There's 1 out.
That's a great out to get for more than one reason. Because it wasn't hit very deep. Carpenter can't move to third. He had to just go halfway and play it conservative. So you got an out, and it wasn't a productive out for the Cardinals.
First and second, 1 down for Alan Craig. Over the past 2 games, plus today, the Cardinals are 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They lead all of Major League Baseball with a .326 team batting average with runners in scoring position. Detroit Tigers are next, hitting .287. And Alan Craig is the top guy with a .452 average with runners in scoring position. 1-0 to Craig. This team doesn't hit a ton of home runs. They don't steal a lot of bases. They just single and double you to death. Carpenter getting off of second base, and Johnson doesn't like it, so he steps off. Surge keeping an eye on Chris Johnson. Johnson, 28 years of age, out of Wichita State. Blue Springs, Missouri. Oh, this one's going to move the runners up. And now 2 men in scoring position for Alan Craig, and a 2-0 count.
He certainly didn't want this to happen. Got that slider down in the dirt. bounced away, and now that holiday out that you're real happy about kind of goes for nothing. They move up anyway.
Two ball, no strike pitch to Alan Craig. It's 3-0. Runner has scored 23 out of 34 times. He's got a man at third and less than 2 outs. 68% of the time he'll get him in. Chris Johnson ready to go on the 3-0. Strike down the middle. Ready for the 3-1. And this one is lifted into right center field. That's down for a base hit. Cardinals are going to take the lead. McCutchen throws all the way to the plate. Scoring is Carpenter, and Alan Craig does it again. Alan Craig is uncanny with runners in scoring position, hitting nearly 500.
Yeah, that's just a little broken bat. No flare, but because of the wild pitch, it scores a run.
And Robinson a little bit unsure.
Well, he has to hold up, which Carpenter would have been doing if he was still on second.
Only 1 out, and runners at the corners for one of the top hitters by average in the National League, Yadier Molina. Cardinal catcher with a .328 batting average. He's just moved behind Chris Johnson of Atlanta for second in the league. Johnson now hitting .331. Two hits in the inning for the Cardinals. A walk, a wild pitch, and a run in. Say, well, they're all important. All the games are important. This one is particularly important. You start the month of September, and you got a chance to stay in first place all by yourself and get a 2-game lead over the Cardinals. And if you lose it, you're back to tied with them, heading out on a road trip. Now, for the Cardinals, they head off to Cincinnati. They've got to play 4 games against the Reds once they leave here today. Chris Johnson could use a double play ball right here. Middle infielders playing for 2. Robinson off third, Craig off of first. And a base hit by Molina. It's 2-0 St. Louis. So the walk to Robinson proves costly.
Yeah, the walk and the wild pitch. I guess in a way, though, that you can say that back-to-back hits kind of take precedence over the wild pitch. But the early control issues definitely set this inning up.
The Cardinals today now 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. That is something that they have been missing out of their game the last week or so.
They don't hit a lot of home runs. They bunch their hits together in one inning. They've bunched 3 of them together along with a walk, and they've turned that into 2 runs. And they're still at work, just 1 out.
Yeah, Mike Matheny's team shut out in back-to-back games for the first time in his tenure as manager when they lost the finale against Cincinnati 10-0, had the day off, and then came in here and were shut out 5-0 in game 1 of this series. 2 on and 1 out for the third baseman, David Freese. Ball 1. Freese is 0 for 3 in the series, but he has hit safely in 7 of his last 10 ball games, I should say. 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. And what we're seeing out of Johnson, again, the control problems, falling behind not just 1-0 but 2-0 on virtually every hitter so far. Johnson looks back at second, and the 2-0 pitch. 2-1.
Well, your hope now is that you get a double play, and Johnson can then look back on the inning and say, okay, the bad one is over with. Now I'm going to relax. I'm going to attack the hitters just like I did last time I was up here.
Ball's behind, 3-1.
Can't let it spin out of control here and be looking up at a 4-run inning.
Top of the first, Cardinals with 2 in. Here's the 3-1. Second walk of the inning, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. And things are unraveling quickly for Chris Johnson. Already the bullpen has been activated.
You have to.
John Gomez was getting the sweatshirt off, and Gomez preparing to throw.
This is one of your biggest games of the year. You can't, hang with a young guy and let him try to work out of his troubles, that sort of thing. It's not the time of year you can do something like that.
Center fielder John Jay takes the ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Johnson struggling out of the gate here today. 269 the average for Jay. Jay went 0 for 3 last night. 0 for 4, beg your pardon, with the last out of the game. And again, the count is 2-0. 27 pitches, 16 of the 27 have been balls.
And the command was so good that first outing, and numbers don't lie. It's not there today.
And the 2-0, and Jay takes in the dirt, 3-0. And you'd have to think here that if Gomez is ready, if Jay is lost, he's going to have to come out and get him.
I don't think he's ready. They're going to have to stall if they want to go to Gomez now.
He just got up, so it'll be a tough one for him. 3-1.
Oh, Jay, 2 hopper right to Walker.
Well, that'll clean things up. That's 3-2 now. Johnson a chance to get something done. The only out off the bat of Matt Holliday. He flied out to right center field. After Matt Carpenter led the inning off with a double. Robinson was walked. Holliday flied out. Alan Craig and Yadier Molina back-to-back base hits. Scored Carpenter and Robinson. 3-2 in the air to center field. McCutchen's going to make the catch in right center. Alan Craig comes in to make it a 3-0 ball game. Sacrifice fly for John Jay, and there are 2 men out in the top half of the first. '59th RBI for John Jay. Runners at first and second, the number 8 hitter, Pete Kozma. Kozma's been struggling lately. Came in to pinch hit in the ball game last night in the 5th inning. Grounded out. 1-0 for 1.
Well, there were some games earlier this year where there was a rough beginnings to them, and the Pirates really kind of was their trademark early on, the comeback wins. The bullpen doing such great work first half of the season. Hopefully will be the story this afternoon.
Cosma is now 0-2. First time Johnson's been ahead of a hitter 0-2. Guy he needs to get is Cosma. Jason Grilli and Ben Potenziano talking in the dugout. Cosma is 0 for his last 29. 0-2 pitch. Blocked by Buck.
Well, that was a tough block. That one hit up in the chalk of the left-hand hitter's batter's box, almost to the front of it.
One-two pitch. Still 1-2. That one back up into the seats. Janmar Gomez still getting loose, getting closer to being ready.
I think now he's had plenty of time. He's ready now.
Johnson looking in at Buck. First and second, 2 down. 3 runs in, top of the first. The pitch goes to the backstop. Gets away from Buck. And the runners move up. Second and third on the wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the inning for Chris Johnson.
This is an inning I would like to see end.
Two and two to Pete Cosma. Struck him out. Cosma's now 0 for his last 30. But Chris Johnson gives up 3 runs in the top of the first. Three runs given up on 3 hits in the top of the first inning. And the Pirates getting set to try to get those runs back for him. Neil Walker, for the first time, will serve as a leadoff hitter. Walker first, then Garrett Jones second. Andrew McCutchen, Pedro Alvarez in the cleanup spot. Marlon Byrd fifth. Justin Morneau bats sixth. John Buck seventh. Jordy Mercer eighth. And Chris Johnson in the ninth spot. Facing right-hander Joe Kelly of the Cardinals, who's been very, very good since joining the rotation on the 6th of July.
Hey, he has been outstanding. One of their young guns. And they'll be depending on him this afternoon to make that 3 runs, stand up, at least early on.
6-3 the record, but the Cardinals as a team are 8-1 in Kelly's starts since he joined the rotation. Defensively for St. Louis, Holiday, Jay, and Robinson in the outfield. Freese, Cosma, Carpenter, and Craig in the infield. And Yadier Molina doing the catching. Now Yadier Molina, an RBI base hit. Best catchers in the business. And a big reason the Cardinals are where they are. So Walker getting his first crack at leading off. Pirates trying to stack this lineup with left-handers. 262 is average, and Kelly getting ready to go. First pitch is a strike. Last time Kelly faced the Pirates, pitched 6 scoreless innings of 3-hit baseball. It was in the final game of that 5-game series here. And the Cardinals would win it 13-0, but Pirates had won 4 of the 5 games. Gets ahead 0-2. Kelly looking in at Molina. He's ready to go. Walker now finally steps in. And the breaking ball didn't come all the way through the back door. 1-2. Walker had a 3-hit night last night, 2 singles and a triple. And rips this one into center field, a base hit past a diving Carpenter, and the Pirates with the leadoff man aboard. That's a good job of leadoff hitting by Walker.
Now, you can't do anything about the top of the first inning other than try and answer some way. Well, maybe not have to get them all back right away, but put something up in the bottom of the inning. Just to pull a little closer, even if it's just 1 run, and Walker gets you started with that leadoff hit. Super Mo shows you that was close to being grabbed. Walker himself has taken a lot of base hits away on that backhand side this year.
Walker now 5-game hitting streak. Garrett Jones in right field today. He takes a fastball for a strike. Jones is hit safely in 11 of 14 games against the Cardinals this year. 372, 3 home runs against St. Louis, and 8 RBI.
Big game in game 1 of this series.
And Friday night, Garrett Jones 100th career home run. Just tucked it inside the foul pole. The first of back-to-back home runs. Russell Martin will follow up with one right after that. Pirates will win on Friday 5-0. Won last night 7-1. 0-2 to Jones. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kelly with a pretty good fastball. Get it up there in the mid-90s at times, and he'll throw about 6 out of 10 fastballs.
Kelly's 1-2. Foul tipped out of the glove of Molina. So hanging in there is Jones.
97. Really pushed that one up there with some good velocity. Good spot too as he elevated it.
Kelly is Southern Californian out of Anaheim. Neil Walker, a leadoff single. He gets off of first base.
It's pretty close to coal country.
It is. Good take by Jones. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garrett. There's Surge visiting with the veteran catcher Mike Buck. John Buck. Excuse me. He's new around here. 2-2 is into right field. Coming on is the right fielder Shane Robinson to make the catch, and Walker back to first.
Well, Walker was really in a tough spot there. He's got to go far enough that if Robinson short hops it, he can beat a throw to second. But if he takes too big of a chance and goes too far, he's going to get doubled off first. This is a very tough play for Walker. Able to just make it back. There he is. You're not sure what to do. You have to wait. You have to wait as long as you can to commit. And barely got back to first.
Here's McCutchen. He is mired in an 0 for 11 streak. That's unusual for Kutch. In almost every game in August, he reached base. All but 2.
Excellent opportunity here to break out of it, huh?
He's due. That's for sure.
Get a single, double, anything. Just get a little something going here in the bottom of the first. Get us a run back.
On the right side, foul. No balls and 2 strikes to McCutchen. We've seen Kelly get ahead. That's been part of his success since he joined this Cardinal rotation, getting ahead of hitters. He's been ahead 0-2 on Walker Jones and now McCutchen.
Folks taking pictures of this first at bat, aren't they?
1-2. Kelly's won his last 3 starts and his last 6 decisions. 2.24 during that time. That's the ERA for Kelly. 2.91 overall. McCutchen following this one off, and somebody's getting a souvenir. Kids Day Sunday. How about a foul ball?
Yeah, hopefully they'll all end up with one before the game's over. There'll be a few more hit that way.
One-two to McCutchen. He'll tap her down to third.
Beat it up.
Charging is free. Safe! A base hit. And now McCutchen has 1 for his last 12.
I'll take it. Was it the base hit? Maybe I thought he was going to get, but that's all right. You're on the bag, and the inning has gotten underway. Really a tough play for a third baseman. You got a power hitter up there. He's got 2 strikes. You got to move back. You can't play up tight. So when you get that swinging bunt, somebody that can run like McCutchen, you're just not going to throw him out very often.
Allegheny Health Network. Supermo slowing it down. Very close at first. And now the chance of Let's Go Pedro. He represents the tying run. Alvarez to left field. Holiday on the run. Slicing away from him. He'll make the catch, and Pedro's gone early in the at-bat. 2 men out for the Pirates in the bottom of the first.
And we need the clutch 2-out hit. If Bird can knock him home.
Bird's hit safely in each of his first 4 games with the Pirates. 5 for 16 with a home run and 4 RBIs since joining Pittsburgh. And John Buck acquired on Tuesday from the Mets.
I see a ball to right center. Going to concentrate out that direction.
On that right center field
Right
gap.
center.
Starts Bird off with ball 1. Justin Morneau in the on-deck circle for the first time as a Pirate. Two on and 2 out. Marlon Bird trying to come through here in the bottom of the first, get at least one of those runs back, maybe more. Kelly's pitch in the air to right field. Robinson underneath it. And the Pirates leave 2. And after 1 full, Cardinals 3, Pirates nothing.
The first time in his decade-long MLB career. I'm Robbie Mikowski, and John Buck has a history of wearing goalie masks behind the plate. Not many catchers have done it. However, we are seeing two today. But here's a little history of John Buck and his mask. That's what he wore with the Kansas City Royals and with the Miami Marlins. He had a couple cool designs with the Marlins, one with the fish there, and then on the other side, he had a little painting of the South Beach Ocean Drive area right there on the front. And then with the Toronto Blue Jays, he had a nice scheme as well. Now, I asked him about the Pirates mask. He does want to get that one painted, but the issue he's running into is he may not have enough time to get it done and get it back in time. If you know anything about goaltenders that get goalie masks done, these things take a while, and it's a very involved project with the design and getting it done. But one thing with John Buck, he has always auctioned the mask off to him, which is pretty cool. And all the proceeds from the mask auctions have gone to charity. And the crazier the design, the more money the mask has brought in. So it's a cool thing, and it's also raised a lot of money for charities.
Yeah, he's turned it into a solid positive. That's a nice thing.
And there is plenty of time. You have the rest of September and then all of October.
So yeah, he get it back when
we're going to the World Series, so we got time.
Well, I hope he sends it out.
Keep that one. Send the new one out.
There's another one. Kelly ground ball to third base. One out. Justin Morneau gets his first put out as a Pirate. Pedro Alvarez on the infield assist.
Now Johnson gets a chance to hopefully grab a hold of that strike zone and not let go.
Well, back to the top of the order. Johnson will face Matt Carpenter, who doubled and scored in the first. Carpenter leads the league in doubles with 44, leads the league in runs scored with 101.
When you start a ball game, you always figure, okay, I can give up 3 runs and still give my team a great chance to win a game. And you're thinking 3 runs in 6-7 innings. Well, Johnson's done that, so now it's all zeros from here on out. He has to put up 5 or 6 shutout innings. No more bending room.
Here's the 0-2. To the right side. Morneau will grab it. 2 gone.
What a difference, huh? Getting ahead in the count.
Big difference. Big difference. Morneau's been involved in both outs this inning.
Now this was the guy that I think really kind of hurt him. Morneau jogs back. Robinson. Now that walk of Robinson set that inning up. You got the big hitters coming up. Holiday, Craig, Molina. You had to go after Robinson.
Base hit. Robinson's been on twice.
I'd have rather seen Robinson do that last inning than the base on balls.
At least he would have earned his way on.
Well, and if they put it in play, you always have a chance for a ball to be hit at somebody. Something good can happen. They put it in play. You can get it out. That's how you get the majority of your outs. Right. But the base on balls, there's no defense for it. And it just sets the table for the big hitters. And Charlie, of course, with the way he can get those ground balls, that's exactly what he's trying to do, just every pitch. Feed a ground ball to an infielder.
Nothing in 1 to Holiday. Holiday fly to McCutchen in center field in the first inning. Well, if Johnson can get Holiday here, it'd be a pretty decent bounce back inning, considering what happened in the first. Shane Robinson off of first base, stretched by Johnson. And the throw to first. Robinson gets back. Robinson does have 5 stolen bases. He's not been caught. Ball on a strike to Matt Holiday. Matt Holiday Do a lot of work to right field, especially against the Pirates. 34 of his hits this year have gone to right field. It seems like about a dozen or so have gone to right against the Pirates. There goes Robinson. Ground ball to first. Morneau will handle it. So good inning defensively for Justin Morneau as he records all 3 putouts. And now he will have his first at bat as a Pirate when we come back.
Justin Morneau.
Now Justin Morneau getting ready in the box for his first at bat as a Pirate. Bucks down 3-0 to start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Good numbers with the Minnesota Twins. .259 average, 17 home runs, 74 runs batted in. Keep in mind, during the month of August, he had 9 home runs, and he's homered in 2 of his last 3 games before joining Pittsburgh. Takes a strike from Joe Kelly. Career .278 hitter. Spent his entire career with the Minnesota Twins. Got to be a little different for him today. 0-2. Came in during the game last night. Was greeted by Clint Hurdle as he came down the runway. Clint telling me about it today. He just sort of turned around and there was Morneau. He knew he was in the building, but he didn't know he was right behind him when he walked in the dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Clint said it was a great big smile Morneau had on his face. He was very, very happy. He said it was a neat moment. Still 1-2. Barrel Automotive League leaders stat. Miguel Cabrera, Alfonso Soriano ahead of Morneau, Davis and Ruff in August. Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. 1-2 pitch. Now it's even at 2-2. First base, fair ball. Craig's got it. Morneau's out. 1 gone for the Pirates in the 2nd. Well, it's got to be different, Bob, and you know you've been traded and you go to a new team. instantly have to try to fit in. It's just got to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Well, I think Morneau, it's a lot different than any situation I was ever in, because he was with the team for 11 years at the big league level. I mean, to change clubs, that is a big deal for him.
Final year of a deal with Minnesota. They figured they couldn't make a qualifying offer over the winter, so they offered him an opportunity to go to a contender. He found this opportunity. He was a 10-5 guy. Could have vetoed a trade, but he wanted to come to Pittsburgh. Now John Buck takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. I talked to John yesterday about his opportunity here in Pittsburgh, and he's all smiles about it. He feels he's in the right place at the right time. 2-2 to Buck. Two and two to John Buck. One out, base is empty. Kelly ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Hurdle loves having him back there. He knows that later this week Tony Sanchez will get recalled. We'll have more depth at the catching position. So carrying 3 catchers during the month gives you a chance to use one of them as a pinch hitter sometimes, and even perhaps one as a designated hitter in one of those games against the Texas Rangers coming up in Arlington. Russell Martin will be the primary catcher. Swinging a good bat lately. He's homered in back-to-back games. 2-2 pitch, and Buck swings and strikes out.
Kelly showing that very good velocity. 97 again.
Well, you can place a deposit now for your 2014 season tickets, from full season to half and 20 game plans. There's a plan that's right for you. Enjoy great benefits all season long, plus deposits made now receive 2013 postseason priority. To place your deposit, go to pirates.com/deposit. Good idea to get those deposits in, considering priority you'll get for this year's postseason. Here's Jordy Mercer. One ball, 1 strike to Jordy. .275 on the season since the All-Star break, though, getting .303. 33 for 109. Takes the breaking ball for a strike, gets behind in the count, 1-2. Getting a start today. We've seen some fantastic defense out of Clint Barnes during the course of this series over the first 2 games. And Mercer strikes out looking. Second strikeout for Joe Kelly. Pirates gone in order in the second. 3-0 Cards.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks!
Well, Parrott dancing to Cotton Eye Joe in his Elvis outfit. What's wrong with this picture?
Good outfit, though.
All the kids enjoying it today. They love the Parrot. Kids Day Sunday. As the Pirates get set to wrap up the penultimate homestand of 2013. Folks packing the rotunda again. Jolly Rogers flying everywhere. A little overcast today. Actually, a lot overcast today. Rain this morning, maybe some later today. Right now, it's okay. Score's not 3-0 Cardinals. Chris Johnson facing Alan Craig. Craig drove in the game's first run in the first inning. Bounces one toward the middle and into center field, and Alan Craig's 2 for 2.
A little off the end of the bat flare for one hit. And now he hits this chopper in the perfect spot.
We've seen Walker make a lot of plays up the middle, but here Allegheny Health Network Supermo shows he can't get to that one. A lot of it depends on the positioning, where he starts. And Walker had been playing Craig a step or two over toward first as opposed to up the middle. And nobody out. Molina at the plate. For one, he, like Alan Craig, had an RBI single in the first. One and 0 to Molina. Molina checking down with third base coach Jose Oquendo.
Looking for a hit and run. That would be the play that would be put on in this instance.
And that would have been a good one on a hit and run. Craig was not going, but Molina now 2 for 2.
Hit the ball hard twice.
The Cardinals setting up shop, 2 on, nobody out.
Might get the bullpen going again.
Janmar Gomez got up and got hot earlier.
I don't see anything happening right now, but inning started off with 2 base hits, down 3 runs. Be very patient, I wouldn't think. Johnson's already thrown 51 pitches.
Flint checking with a pen now. Swing and a miss. David Freese behind in the count, 0-1. So Janmar, for the second time, will get up and get loose. Cardinals with 3 runs in the first. 8 men came to the plate. Nobody out, 2 on. Pitch to Freese. 1 ball and 1 strike. I asked John yesterday what it was like to come to a new organization and have to learn the pitchers so quickly. And he said it's not so bad. He said he's done it before and he enjoys the challenge. Caught Garrett Cole against the Brewers a couple of days ago. On Thursday. To the gap, deep left center field. This one's going to the notch, and it stays in play. It'll get 2 runs in. Craig and Molina both come in to score on a double by David Freese. It's 5-0. 3 straight hits off of Chris Johnson to start the 3rd inning.
7 hits now for the game. Tried to throw fastball inside. Actually didn't try. He did. Been getting beat on a couple of fastballs inside.
Molina could walk home from first base. That ball was hit so deep.
And a lot of other ballparks that's out of here. The 410 gap.
It shouldn't take Gomez too long to get ready since he was already up and warm earlier. And he is ready. Clint Hurdle's coming out to get Johnson. First major league start for Chris Johnson comes to an early end as the Cardinals hit him around a little bit. 7 hits, 5 runs, and Johnson leaves a lot earlier than he had hoped to today. 5-0 Cardinals, a pitch and change. Here comes Janmar Gomez.
Brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Furniture and the all-new Levin Mattress Stores. For a great deal on a new bed, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
5 runs on 7 hits. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. That's the bad news. The good news is we're only in the top of the 3rd inning. And Janmar Gomez takes over for Chris Johnson. Johnson 2+ innings. Went 3 batters in the 3rd. 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. And he's still responsible for David Freese at second base.
Janmar, almost 70 innings of work with just 26 appearances, mainly because he had quite a few starts earlier in the year. Very effective as a starting pitcher. Been very effective everywhere. But he's a guy that you can rely on to come in a situation like this and get you 2 or 3 innings. Not much problem. The old-fashioned long man.
Gomez appeared Tuesday against the Brewers, struck out 2 of the 3 men he faced. Now he'll face John Jay, the center fielder. And on second, nobody out. Ball 1 to John Jay. Chris Johnson by himself, left to reflect on his first major league start. His first major league appearance, much different. He went 6 innings in relief and pitched remarkably well, and then today, different story. 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson just added today as the roster's expanded. One pitch to left center field. There is McCutchen. 1 out.
Very good. He was able to keep Jay from pulling the ball. Freese has to stay at second. It's the first step to getting out of this inning.
Well, today was normally the day Jeff Locke would start. Pirates felt it was best for Locke to have him skip a start. And thus I don't know if I call it a demotion, but technically that's what it is. You send a guy to Double-A basically because they needed a roster spot right after his last start. And Jeff will come back after missing this start. He'll be back Tuesday and join the team in Milwaukee. Jeff is here at the ballpark today. He's been at the ballpark predominantly during the time of his move to Altoona. Has to actually go to Altoona. When you're sent to a place, you have to actually physically show up there. So he's been already back.
How's anybody know? They have somebody there to check.
I don't know. Maybe it's an honor system.
Can I get a card stamped or something?
2-1 to Pete Kozma. Travis Snyder is back from his rehab stint. He was activated today.
That's one of the big advantages you have in September baseball. You have a full bench of extra bullpen guys. Can do a lot more things during a ball game in September.
And newcomer Kyle Farnsworth also brought up. Farnsworth, a guy with big league experience. Pirates picked him up not too long ago. Signed to a minor league deal. There were no guarantees for Farnsworth, but here he is. With Tampa Bay earlier in the season went 2-0 over 39 games. Kozma ground ball to short. Mercer will throw to Morneau. 2 men out. Down to third goes Freeze. And those slots are going to be more full as time goes on. Pirates probably will not get to the full complement of 40. They don't want to carry guys just to carry guys, but they want to carry guys that they feel can help them in a situation, whether it be pinch hitting, pinch running, defensive substitution.
You got two different reasons that the teams have when they decide who comes up. You have teams that are out of it. They're going to take a look at these younger players. They're going to see, who can possibly be of help next year. And then teams like the Pirates and the Cardinals, they're looking to see who can help them right now in September.
Kelly grounds out to Mercer. And Gomez puts out the fire. 2 runs on 3 hits. It's a 5-0 St. Louis lead.
Is brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit pghkiadealers.com. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Flying the Jolly Rogers on the vessels outside of PNC Park, docked along the Riverwalk. More signage along the rotunda. raise it. Going to have to come back to do it. As the Cardinals have built a 5-0 lead early. And Chris Johnson out of the game. 2 innings plus 3 hitters, 5 earned runs on 7 hits.
Now this will not be easy now.
He never got a chance to come to the plate, but Janmar Gomez will. First at bat in the pitcher's spot belongs to Gomez this afternoon, as he and Yadier Molina chat.
Hopefully Janmar can come through. Trying to build an inning. That leadoff hitter is an important spot.
Gomez 1 for 12 this year.
2 for 13.
And a pitch in for a strike. Well, Gomez takes over early in this game. 0-1 pitch. That one's outside. Brooms are here, but Pirates offense needs to get going before they'll be able to use those today. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. It's an old shirt, huh?
Killer Bees, baby. I might still have one of those put away in a box in the attic.
Gomez down on strikes. 3rd consecutive strikeout for Joe Kelly. Our day automotive this day in Pirates history. On this date in 2009, Neil Walker made his major league debut as a pinch hitter against the Reds. He was robbed of a hit when Brandon Phillips made an outstanding play on him here. His family was in attendance, saw his first AB. Still had something to smile about. Such a great play to take his first big league hit away. Thanks to Day Automotive, we're going to make your day. One of Neil's biggest fans is here watching him. He'll 1 for 1. Kelly delivers a strike. September 1st, 2009. A day Walker remembers very clearly. 1 ball, 1 strike. See, he's got the eye black like those guys got.
Electric tape.
It's like a Band-Aid. You just take the back off and stick it on. Ground ball to second. Carpenter throws out Walker. 2 men out in the Pirates' 3rd.
The thing about the little tape one is it doesn't get smeared. It's always there for the entire game. Game's over. Easy to clean up. And you can put little gold peas on them too if you like.
The little designs, some artwork. But I don't know if they work as well as the real stuff. Justin Morneau's got the real stuff on.
This is starting to get kind of pushed around a little bit, which gives you that old-timey look. And I like the fact that he actually wears the flip-down sunglasses out on the field that you hardly see anybody wearing it. And I think that makes all the sense in the world to wear that type of sunglass. Maybe not on a cloudy day today, but I could never understand why you wouldn't want something that's really dark. That it's so dark you couldn't wear it to just watch the hitter, but if the ball is actually in the sun, you can flip them down and you got that super dark sunglass to where you can block out the sun with and still make the catch on the baseball.
Down the left field line, Holiday chasing it. He won't get to it.
If you can tell, that's a little pet peeve of mine. The flip down glasses going the other way.
Well, the other Pirate who wears them is Clint Barnes. He wears the flip downs.
Because if you just
I could use some flip downs.
The sun's out, you know, you put on the sunglasses and you go play. Well, they can't. There's no way they can be as dark as something you can flip down when you're looking straight into the sun. I mean, you can have welder's goggles out there. You're looking right up into a bright sun, straight into it. You can flip them down and you can hopefully then find the baseball. But if you're just wearing sunglasses that you would wear to the beach, how's that going to really help you when you're looking dead into the bright sunlight, staring right at it, trying to find the baseball, waiting for it to come out of that sun?
Aaron Jones thought this was ball 4.
Certainly could have been.
Payoff pitch from Kelly to Jones. 2 down, bases empty. And Jones again thought it was ball 4, but he's called out on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Kelly. Heading to the 4th. Cardinals a 5-0 lead. Any Health Network injury update. Wandy Rodriguez threw off the mound in the bullpen for the first time since he got the second opinion from Dr. James Andrews in Florida. He's scheduled to throw again Tuesday in Milwaukee at Miller Park. As Wandy hopes that somehow he might be able to pitch this season, but
boy, it looked like I mean, I don't want to talk out of school here, but it sure looked like he was kind of cutting it off there a little bit. Wasn't exactly getting arm extension. It looked like it was very uncomfortable.
You don't think his arm affects the way he puts his hat on, do you?
But no.
Oh, okay. He's got that fixed. Red light is on in the dugout. He knows to fix his hat. Well, third time today, Matt Carpenter's come to the plate. We're in the 4th inning. Five runs on 7 hits for the Cardinals. 2 for 9 in the series. Carpenter hasn't been good against the Pirates at PNC Park. He has been at Busch Stadium. 0-1 as Gomez gets to start the inning fresh against him. 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carpenter. Carpenter 162 hits to lead the league. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Told you about the run scored, 101. That leads the league, and he and McCutchen tied atop the league list in multi-hit games with 51. First-time All-Star Matt Carpenter. 1-2. He's down on strikes, and Gomez picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
A little paint on that breaking ball down and away. Excellent pitch. And when Gomez was in the rotation for quite a little extended time, but one of the things that really jumped out at you when you watched him Because he is as good as anybody at staying out of the middle of the strike zone. He loves to be out on the edges.
Walker throws out Shane Robinson. 2 gone. Shane Robinson a quick out. Send us your comments, questions, and thoughts about the Pirates using the hashtag BucksBooth. We'll see how many we can get on the air today.
I like those shirts, huh?
Yeah. And you know what? They all know what a hashtag is, those guys. They don't call it a number sign or an octothorpe.
Just hashtag.
Strike 1 to Matt Holliday. Our strike zone grid has a couple of hashtags in it if you look at it. For 2 in the ball game is Holliday.
I grew up thinking that was a pound sign from the telephone era.
Rotary dial era?
No, I go back that far, obviously, but mainly my adult life has been push button.
Ground ball to third. And Pedro goes over to Morneau. And retires Holliday. 1, 2, 3 for Gomez. Trailing the Cardinals. Tribute to Fred Rogers. And football season kicking off this week. You can get the latest on your Steelers during the Mike Tomlin press conference Tuesdays on Root Sports. Hear what Coach Tomlin has to say about the Steelers' upcoming season and how the team's preparing for their first game next Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. Mike Tomlin press conference live Tuesday at noon on Root Sports. Time of year. Joe Kelly facing Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen's 1 for 1 today. No balls and 1 strike. I'm trying to remember what city we first saw that raised the Jolly Rogers sign in. Somewhere on the road.
San Diego, maybe.
Nope. Before then.
Colorado, maybe.
Might have been. Actually, I think it was. It was Colorado.
I have an unbelievable memory.
Apparently, since it's all been push button mainly for your adult life, I would imagine you've got a good memory. You just push buttons and things come back to you.
Catch. Come on, Catch. Get ahead. Deuce is wild in that shot, huh?
Well, you know who their favorite is. 3-1. Time for the Pirates to get that 0 off the scoreboard. Gotta get something going. McCutchen, Alvarez, Bird, Morneau. This guy's ready to hit this inning. Shot right at Carpenter. 1 out. It's now 1 for 2. One of the new additions to the Pirates, Kyle Farnsworth, who began the year with Tampa Bay and was in Indianapolis. Has some big league experience. Pirates have him up here for bullpen help down the stretch. Only Pimentel above him. Pimentel is yet to make his major league debut. Pimentel activated yesterday, and Jared Hughes sent to Double-A Altoona. Pirates expect to bring Hughes back shortly. Pedro takes a strike. Alvarez 0 for 1. He flied to Holiday in left field. Stolmy Pimentel came over from the Red Sox with Mark Melancon in the deal for Joel Hanrahan. One and one to Pedro. One ball, one strike. Side 2-1. Pedro's done well against the Cardinals over the last couple of seasons. 33 RBIs 2012 and 2013 combined. Along with 9 home runs. Most in the majors behind rather ahead of Aramis Ramirez. And this one popped up to left field. Matt Holliday under it. 2 down. Twice he has flied to left now. AT&T tweet from Jimmy Love 1030. What happens with Jeff Locke when final rosters are due? I think he's talking about the playoff roster, and I know that when we had Neil Huntington up here earlier in the week, he explained how that works with players and how the playoff rosters can be set and how guys can be eligible even though they're not here on September 1st.
Yeah, they're going to pick the 25 that they want to go with. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times you don't go with 5 starting pitchers. You really don't need to have 5 guys because of the travel days. So it'll be interesting to see how they decide to set up the pitching staff, the bullpen, the bench. And I don't know what kind of decision they'll make with Jeff.
Well, and what Neil told us is you don't have to be sitting here in the ballpark September 1st. You just have to be in the organization.
Yeah, they're going to have a ton of players to pick from for those 25. You have the reason for that is because you have the DL guys.
About 8 guys in the 60-day DL.
DL escaped me. Yeah, but you can replace the DL guys with active players, and you can get them from anywhere as long as they're in the organization. They have a lot of options.
Marlon Byrd draws a 2-out walk. Pirates a man on for Justin Morneau. Morneau 0 for 1. Grounded out to Alan Craig at first base in the second inning.
Put any pressure on anybody, but we can use a home run at some point.
That would spark this crowd, spark this offense. Takes a strike. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Mr. Morneau. I'll tell you, a lot of folks in Minnesota sorry to see him go. But Morneau, it was time to go, and he's happy to be here with a contender. Morneau in 2006 was the American League MVP. He's been an all-star 4 times. He's been a positive staple in the Minneapolis community. 2 strikes now.
I'll be needing those sunglasses here soon.
Yeah, looks like the sun's trying to break through.
The cloud cover's starting to move off. It's getting brighter and brighter.
That's a good thing. Two balls, 2 strikes to Morneau. Bob Nutting, the chairman of the Pirates, meeting with the newest acquisition. Oh, a neat picture. Justin gets to meet his new boss. Number off the end of the bat, foul. We've seen Justin Morneau play against the Pirates a few times, a number of times in spring training with the Twins, but over the last few years the Twins have played the Pirates in interleague play. Last time the Pirates went to Minneapolis, they were still playing at the Metrodome, and the Twins came here in the recent past.
It would be nice to get out there and see that new stadium before it already not new anymore. So that'd be the only one we haven't been to, isn't it?
Pitch inside, 3-2.
Can't think of another one.
Maybe the new Yankee Stadium. Been to the new one?
Well, that's true. Off the plate a little bit inside.
Not holding Bird on. Bird will take off 3-2. Stretched by Kelly, and the payoff pitch. Fouled back. Stolmy Pimentel warming up, getting set to make his major league debut, perhaps. And there's ball 4, and back-to-back 2-out walks. 2 men on for John Buck.
Buck certainly's got a little pop. He'll be the one to put it over the fence. 15 home runs on the year. We need a big strike to get back in this game. Quick strike.
John Buck, 2 on, 2 out. On the right field side, that ball is going to slice foul.
Had the
distance indeed, but it's too far to the right. Nothing in 1 to Buck. We talked about Morneau having 9 home runs during the month of August. How about Buck having 9 in the month of April? He got off to a great start with the Mets. Kelly's 0-1. It's ahead of him, 0-2. See the back of Morneau's helmet, 66. That's the number he's going to switch to, which is double the 33 that he has had his entire career. He wanted 33 here, but that's been retired. Number 33 was retired for Honus Wagner. It was the number that Wagner had as a coach when his playing days were over. He played without a number. 0-2, tap foul. Nothing in, 2 to John Buck. A pair of 2-out walks. Marlon Byrd's at second base. Justin Morneau's at first. All 3 new acquisitions involved on the field right now, with Buck at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes. by Molina, keeping the runners right where they are. Goes down on strikes, and the Pirates leave 2 men on. We've played 4 full innings at PNC Park. Cardinals 5, Pirates nothing. Game series here at PNC Park, wrapping up the homestand. Pirates and GovX are pleased to offer a ticket discount to all active duty, reserve, veteran, and retired service members and their families. Military members will receive up to $10 off select game tickets to any Sunday through Friday game this season. Get tickets at pirates.com/military or go to the PNC Park ticket windows. Those Friday and Sunday dates running out, so hurry and take advantage. Pirates.com/military. Along with Bob Walk and Robbie Ince-Mikowski, Tim Neverett sold out PNC Park this afternoon. Bucco fans hoping for a sweep of the Cardinals. Bucks started the day a game in front of St. Louis, in the lead in the National League Central Division. Janmar Gomez had to take over for Chris Johnson. He made his first big league start today, only lasted 2+ innings. Gave up 5 runs on 7 hits, and Gomez has come in and retired 6 straight. They'll face Alan Craig, the cleanup man. First baseman is 2 for 2. Big part of the order today has been 4, 5, and 6 for the Cardinals. 2 for 2 for Craig, 2 for 2 for Molina. And a strike called to Craig, and David Freese hitting in the 6th spot. He was 1 for 1 with a 2-run double.
They were able to do it like they usually do. They bunch their hits together. And that produces their offense.
A 1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alan Craig.
Very good at getting hits when they get that hurler into the stretch position.
Ball, 1 strike. Hit him. First base runner against Gomez. And Alan Craig has reached safely 3 times today.
Janmar trying to go fastball in. Just got away from him a little bit. But even that far in. They hit that protective guard on the elbow.
3rd hit batsman of the year for Gomez. Leadoff man is aboard for Molina. 2 for 2 for the Cardinal catcher. Takes ball 1. Molina drove in a run in the 1st. Scored a run in the 3rd. First, and Craig gets back. Alan Craig has stolen just 2 bases this year, but he's not been caught. So he's snuck a couple of stolen bases. Tapper toward Mercer. He'll flip to Walker for 1. Back to first. Double play. 12th time Molina's grounded into a double play this year. And that cleans up the hit batsman to start the inning. 2 outs and nobody on.
A nice little turn by Walker. He's going to get the toss from a little unusual position because Mercer has to go almost all the way to the grass to get that ball. I got 2 outs out of it. Gomez really doing a fine job in relief so far.
He's just 8 men, and he's got 2 outs in the top half of the 5th inning.
Really been a pretty big story this year that is awfully overlooked. Not really a lot of talk about him in spring training. His name did come up a few times for that 5 spot in the rotation, but not really one of the main guys in that chase. But every time except for maybe just 2 or 3 where they've given him the baseball and said, hey, go out there, either give us innings in a long man role, make a spot start, go into the rotation for a couple of weeks, whatever it is. He's done it, and he's done it extremely well. And a big help to getting the Pirates to the position they're in. This certainly has been a season where it's the whole team. Even though McCutchen is the MVP candidate, the main guy, everybody that's been on that 25-man roster at one time or another, you can look at and say that guy was directly responsible for a win. And when you're as close as the Cardinals and the Pirates are at the top of the division, every win is precious.
Absolutely. Clint Hurdle knows about it, and he's really enjoying this 3-team race in the Central Division. Always good when your team's on top on September 1st. Strike 3 call. Gomez registers his 2nd strikeout of the afternoon. Pirates looking to get some runs now as we go to the bottom of the 5th. On the background on the other side of the Allegheny River. Today's Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. The most wins by a Pirates team at home since PNC Park opened. With 11 more home games to go, this year's team has already tied the record set just last year with 45 wins at home. Good work here at PNC Park. 45 of their 79 wins have come at this ballpark. Jordy Mercer leads off, takes a strike from Kelly.
Running out of innings. Got to make a move here soon. Some kind of runs on the board. I repeat myself, but we need somebody to hit one over the fence. Maybe a couple.
In this series, during the course of the season, home runs haven't been a big issue for the Pirates. They have been for the Cardinals, however. The team has played 15 games prior to today's game. The Pirates have hit 18 home runs. Cardinals have hit only 3, and all 3 came in the same game at Busch Stadium on the 26th of April. Pirates haven't given up a home run to the Cardinals in the last 11 games played between these two clubs at PNC Park. 0-2. Mercer, one hopper, backhanded by Cosmo. One out. There's too many easy outs, too many ground balls right at guys, too many fly balls right at guys, and a number of strikeouts. So Pirates hitters trying to challenge Joe Kelly now. Batting for the Bucks will be Travis Snyder.
Been a while since we've seen Travis. Been on the shelf with the bad toe.
He's been on the disabled list since
Miami.
July 28th.
Miami, right? The last place he played?
I believe so.
It has been a while.
That was the Sunday game, July 28th. And left big toe discomfort. So 3 innings and 2 strikeouts, no runs for Janmar Gomez. 1 ball and 1 strike to Travis Snyder. Gomez, 3 innings of very effective relief. Snyder, ground ball to the right side. Craig snares it. Tosses to Kelly, covering. 2 men out. Now this will bring up Neil Walker back to the top of the order, but let's take a look. This one had thoughts of getting through, but Craig makes a good play on it.
The last couple of balls have been hit pretty well, but as you mentioned, the one was right at shortstop, and this one you get first baseman Craig making a pretty good play on it. Not only are you not really centering the ball up with any consistency, when you do, it seems to be right at a Cardinal. It's their day so far. It's why it's so hard to get sweeps. It's why in the game of baseball, when you have a matchup where you have maybe a best team in the league against a worst team in the league, you're still going to get somebody winning 2 out of 3. It's a game that has a lot of luck involved.
Another ground ball right at him. Pirates gone in order in the 5th. week. Tune in Thursday, every Thursday this fall, to see some of Western Pennsylvania's best high school athletes battle it out in hopes to make the Whitfield Championships. The action kicks off live as the Seneca Valley Raiders take on the Pine Richland Rams Thursday at 7 on Root Sports. Pine Richland's Eric Kasparovich, the former Pitt Panther, makes his head coaching debut for the Rams. And Seneca Valley head coach Don Hall will have a new quarterback, his son TJ. He's a junior. He'll lead the offense for the Raiders this season. Looking forward to the prep football season getting underway, which it has. Hope you'll start to see it here on Root Sports starting Thursday. 5-0. We go to the 6th inning. And Justin Wilson will make his 52nd appearance.
See, the hard-throwing young lefty still has that ERA way down. Get it back into the ones, perhaps, with a good outing this afternoon. He has got a lot of work, too. 67 innings on the year. Pirates have relied heavily on his strong left arm.
Oliver Onion flashing his Z. We haven't seen any of those flashed by the players yet today. It's not good when we don't see any Z's from the players. Tapper to the right side. Wilson covering. Morneau the flip. And there's one out. Jay is 0 for 2. Sacrifice fly for Jay earlier in the ball game. One thing we can expect out of Morneau is a very good glove. Certainly we know the bat plays, but he's also a good defensive first baseman. AT&T tweet, what's the hardest thing to adjust to when coming to a new team?
You know, I think that it gets you out of your everyday rhythm. And especially in Morneau's case, you know, he's been doing the same thing at the same ballpark in the same city for so many years. You know, it's just all different for him. You have all the little, you know, from parking in the same spot. You know, there's all these little things that makes your life totally different once you move like he had.
And it's different with Bird and Buck because they have played for multiple teams over their major league careers.
It certainly is just a mental thing. I mean, it's all stuff in your head. Physically, there's nothing different. You're standing there with a bat, or in this case right now with a glove. You're catching ground balls. Everybody, you know, feeds the ball to the pitcher the same way. I mean, none of that stuff's different. You know, baseball's baseball no matter where you're at. But the mental aspect of, you know, being away from your home is something. And I guess it's all walks of life. If you had to, you know, suddenly change jobs, you know, within, say, a 24-hour period, you're in a whole new situation with people you've never worked for or with before. That is what the players have to go through when they make that switch. And some guys have made it 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. It's old hat to them. But with Morneau, it's something he's going to have to get used to.
His teammates have been very welcoming so far. I'm sure they'll continue to be. The fans have been welcoming to him in his brief stay. There's a looper right to Jordy Mercer, 2 out. Kyle Farnsworth, even though he's wearing a different uniform, he's doing the same routine. He's worn a number of different uniforms.
Yeah, he knows the drill. He has an idea exactly of what it's like to go someplace else.
Pitcher Joe Kelly's 0 for 2. Farnsworth spent a long time with the Cubs. With Detroit, Atlanta, the Yankees, Kansas City, Atlanta again, Tampa Bay. Now the Pirates.
This a nice selection of suitcases.
I'll bet he's got a few souvenirs. Wilson, 95 miles an hour. Joe Kelly, 2-1.
Definitely a power pitcher. Loves the fastball, and he's got a good one.
Two outs, bases empty for the Cardinals in the 6th. And a foul tip. Kelly likes to swing the bat.
Well, let's hope he swings through one more fastball.
He hasn't had a lot of success swinging the bat, but he likes to swing it.
That one at 96.
Sirich keeping an eye on his pitchers today, and certainly going to follow up with Chris Johnson about his start today. Kelly down the right field line. Jones on the run, and that is a foul ball. Let's see where this one hits. Right there, hit where the ground and the wall meet.
Might be time to drop a hook on him.
2-2. Flared to right. Jones on the run. He won't get it. It's a base hit.
He did go breaking ball. That breaker got in on his hands, jammed him with it. See Wilson look up at the sky. He knows right away that's going to be trouble. A little dunker.
Cardinals pitcher with a 2-out single. Kelly 1 for 3 today. And Matt Carpenter the hitter. Ball, no strikes. Carpenter doubled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Big 312 now. Raised his average a point from yesterday. Uh-oh. Look out. Parrott's got all kinds of gadgets, doesn't he? Cardinal fan wearing the silly string. 2-0 pitch. Off the glove of Morneau and into right field. That's a base hit. 52nd multi-hit game for Carpenter, and with 2 outs the Cardinals have 2 men aboard. A bullet hit down to first, and Morneau couldn't get it.
Just far enough to his right. Went off the tip of the glove. Right over his head. I think he probably got it, but he had to move to his right, and then made it possible for the base hit.
Shane Robinson takes inside. Robinson 1 for 2 of the walk. Grounded out to Walker at second base in the 4th inning. Carpenter at first base, and Kelly the runner at second. Here's the pitch from Wilson. And it's inside 2-0. In the East, the Atlanta Braves will have that division wrapped up. Nothing official yet, but they are way ahead of Washington, leading the Nationals by 15 games. Largest lead in the divisions. Wilson just cannot find the mark on Robinson. It's 3-0.
Atlanta's biggest worry right now is just make sure nobody gets hurt between now and the playoffs.
Braves, 7 of their last 10 have been wins.
They won
6 straight.
There was a broken jaw the other day. I don't want anything like that to happen again.
Bringing 1 to Robinson. Dodgers in the West have built a double-digit lead over Arizona, 10.5 games. And the Dodgers have also won 7 of their last 10. So East and West, it's pretty settled. Still battling in the Central between 3 teams. It's a race that all eyes will be on. You thought the American League East would be a little closer, but Boston's starting to pull away from Tampa Bay. They've got a 4.5 game edge. Yankees are 8 back. In Texas, a 2-game lead over Oakland in the American League West. Bases are full of Cardinals now as Wilson loads them up with 2 out. How about this? That looks well within the strike zone. It's called ball 4.
Yeah, that's the whole baseball was inside the strike zone. Not just nicking an edge.
Ray Searage will have to make a walkout. Talk to Wilson. Pitching coaches don't really want to do that during a game unless they have to, but if they're in the dugout, that means things are going well for their starting pitcher. Well, while we have a moment, I'd like to say hi to a lifelong Pirates fan, Clyde Willebrand. His family was planning on bringing him here for his 83rd birthday, which will take place Monday. But Mr. Willebrand has a little health challenge right now. He won't be able to come to the game today, but he is doing better, and the whole family watching the game today. And we wish Mr. Willebrand a happy 83rd birthday from Belle Vernon. Big Pirate fan, a spring training season ticket holder for the last 10 years. Matt Holliday 0-1. Wilson got Jay and Cosma to start the inning with 2 outs. And the bases loaded. Holliday base hit to right. The Cardinals add on. Kelly scores. Behind him is Carpenter. 2 out, 2-run single. It's now 7-0.
Yeah, that little flare of Joe Kelly extended the inning, and now they've put a couple more runs on the board. Clump the base hits together. You know, didn't this happen the last time they were here?
It did.
The final game was just all Cardinals.
13-0. Pirates had a chance to sweep a 5-game series from them. They won the first 4. And then on the getaway day game, it was 13-0. Cardinals just did this. Hit after hit after hit. Ryan Morris now starting to loosen up. It's been a parade out of the bullpen today, and it all started with a bad start by Chris Johnson. And it's one of those things, too, Bobby, where the Pirates need to go for the throat on days like today. It just hasn't happened for him for whatever reason.
Well, it's starting pitching. You know, if you look at the 2 games, 13-0 today, 7-0. It comes down to the 2 starters. And that's the way it always is in every game. Who gets the best start? That's going to decide what happens almost every game you're in. Look at the first 2 games of this series. That's the deciding factor. Today, Johnson not a good start. Kelly is throwing a 2-hit shutout.
His team's getting him run support. 3-1 to Allen Craig. Well, the best work so far done by Pirates pitching has been done by Janmar Gomez.
And you're seeing a perfect example of why people for years and years have said there is no such thing as momentum in baseball. The old cliche, momentum is just how good is today's pitcher? How good is today's starting pitcher? That's your momentum.
Pitchers hanging around there.
And nothing today is going to have any effect also on tomorrow's game in Milwaukee. It's going to be about Charlie Morton. How well is Charlie going to pitch tomorrow? That's the main thing. Whatever happens today, it has nothing to do with that. You will take nothing negative from today over toward tomorrow's game in Milwaukee.
Payoff pitch is fouled off. Tyler Thornburg will oppose Charlie Morton tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's an afternoon game due to the Labor Day holiday. So it'll start first pitch expected at 2:10 Eastern time. 1:10 Milwaukee time. Don't get a lot of Monday day games in the course of the season. Tomorrow's one of them. 2 outs, 2 on, and the 3-2 pitch. Craig hits it up in the air. Right side, Neil Walker under it. Make the catch. That does it. 2 runs on 3 hits off Justin Wilson. Cardinals 7, Pirates nothing.
It's headed on the road, and that next road trip will include a trip to St. Louis. And Pirate Parrot right there, probably a little happy he's going to stay behind here in Pittsburgh. As the last road trip, the Parrot went to St. Louis. He helped celebrate the birthday of Fredbird. He's the mascot for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was introduced, and this is what happened. Pirate Parrot got booed when he was introduced, so they were giving a birthday cake, and look what the Parrot did. Smashed the birthday cake in Fredbird's face, and he heard it just a little bit from everyone involved. And there was a little, maybe a pinata, and Fredbird swinging away, and there he goes, hammering away, Tim, on Pirate Parrot. Is a little bit of retaliation for smashing a cake in his face. And yes, he's praying that the Pirates get runs, and that maybe he's praying to stay home from this road trip and he doesn't have to endure that again.
Obviously, he could see through that blindfold. There had to be a hole in the blindfold because he knew right where the Parrot was. Followed him when he fell over. So that wasn't right. blindfold, you're not supposed to be able to see through it. He could see through the blindfold.
I think it was a setup. I think he ought to press charges against Fred Bird.
Yep.
A lot of witnesses.
Somebody had to have cut a hole in that blindfold. There's no way he knew he was laying over there. Had to be able to see it. It's good to see, though, a little animosity between the Birds.
What is that hanging off of his lid? Is that more silly string from the parrot?
That's whatever it is. It can't be good.
It'd be hard to watch the game through that. Jones to left field, right at Holiday. Everything today right at the Cardinals. They've not been challenged defensively. Jones is 0 for 3. Joe Kelly cruising here in the 6th inning. He's worked into the 6th in each of his 10 starts since he joined the rotation in early July.
I don't think it's all that uncommon for a team. Challenging for winning a division. There's always at least one, maybe a couple young guys coming up that get the job done in a big way.
Some booze raining down as McCutcheon is hit by a pitch. Andrew will head down to first base. Pirates with a base runner. See if they can do something with it.
I think this was a breaking ball that got up there and got him in the elbow. Like maybe a curveball that just left the hand too early, never had a chance to break back down toward the strike zone.
Pedro's fly to left field twice. And the Cardinals, one of the teams you don't see shifting a lot on Pedro. The man at first, they'll play the infield regular for Pedro, but when there's nobody on, second baseman will typically go a few steps out into second, which is not that abnormal. But other teams will have a much more drastic shift on Alvarez when he's up.
Yeah, right now it's just basically you're playing to pole in the infield. Setup they have going. Playing straight away in the outfield.
Ready for the 1-2 pitch is Pedro. Molina had set up outside. Kelly came inside. Molina held that glove over the outside corner, but much farther in, and Molina would have had the reach. He sets up outside again. That pitch low.
Look at all those marks on Molina's chest protector. I think those are all ball strikes.
Probably so. It's all beaten up.
I don't know if I've ever seen a protector that was that marked up.
Slow roller towards short. One play to first, and Pedro retired. 2 men out. At second base is Andrew McCutcheon. Fans, you can save big when you use your Giant Eagle Advantage card this season. Save up to $10 off tickets every Sunday home game when you show your Giant Eagle Advantage card at the PNC Park ticket windows. Or go to pirates.com/advantage card. And running out of time. Not too many Sundays left in the season. So take advantage. There's 2 Sundays left, September 15th and September 22nd. There's 2 Sunday home games. Marlon Bird fouls this one off to the right. Bird's 0 for 1 with a walk. 9 in the series. He's hit it 4 straight as a Bucko. Foul tip towards strike 2. Last night, the arrival of Morneau and the decisive win over the Cardinals in front of the largest crowd of the season. It was a high point of the season, getting back into first place. And do you think the next day there can be some flatness after you have such a high the night before?
No, I don't. Again, I'm going to go back to starting pitching. It's all about starting pitching. And it's not coming out flat or anything more than that. Kelly's doing a great job. He's got, I mean, he's a top line pitcher. He's got great stuff. Today he's making some good pitches. He's working the ball upstairs very well. He's been living up there at the letters. And he's getting those really easy fly balls, a lot of swings and misses, foul balls, and that high fastball. Look where he's throwing all those 96, 97 mile an hour pitches. And then the other side of the coin.
Bird, a base hit. Coming around third is McCutchen, and the Pirates are on the board. RBI single for Marlon Bird. It's 7-1.
But the other side of the coin was that the Pirates didn't have such a good start, and that's the difference in the ball game. Breaking ball off the plate away. Bird actually, I think, went off the strike zone. That base hit up the middle.
Hutchin knows with 2 outs, he's going on contact. He scores easily. And now Justin Morneau at the plate. Morneau 0 for 1 with a walk. The Birds hitting 5 straight as a Pirate. Just drove in his 76th run. The sun's out, Bob. See some blue sky through the clouds now.
Figure out what that last pitch was.
Down the left field side, that'll be a foul ball.
It didn't do a whole lot. It looked very straight, but it was only 92 miles an hour, like maybe a little two-seam pitch or a changeup. But his changeup is a little lower than that.
That's the kid that caught the Morneau foul ball. That's a great play. Two. Rick Sofield, first base coach, fielding it. And Sofield was a first-round draft choice of the Twins. In his first year as the big league first base coach. He's been a manager in the minor leagues, as high as AAA. Morneau rips it off the glove of Craig. There's a hit. Bird will stop at second base. Back-to-back hits with 2 down. And Morneau's first base hit as a Pittsburgh Pirate.
Well, their scouting report on Morneau must be to keep the ball down. He'd been working up so well all day, but when Morneau's up there, he goes downstairs, 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 and this time down and in, and he got burnt. That ball just ripped inside the bag. Greg wanted to make that play, but that would have been a tough one to come up with.
Morneau standing at first base for the second time today. He walked in the 4th inning, now with his first hit. That's going to bring out the pitching coach for the Cardinals, Derek Lilliquist. And also Pirates fans getting a little bit revved up. They've been a little quiet for a while.
Yeah, they want to see a few runs go up. Even though you're down 6 runs, you want to see some chipping away. The zeros, I'm sure, has got everybody frustrated. Get the first run of the afternoon up. And an opportunity maybe to put up a couple of more if we can have a little 2-out magic. And after this, there's still 3 more innings. Who knows what might happen?
Well, they got the 1 run up, 2 men on. And that is now a collector's item, the Twins Morneau jersey. John Buck is 0 for 2. Swings and hits a fly ball to right field. Robinson over by the line will reach over the railing and make the catch, and that does it. Pirates get a run, 2 hits, 2 left. We'll head to the 7th inning at PNC Park. Justin Morneau and the Pirates behind 7-1. Pirates need to take care of the Brewers, and they'll start Charlie Morton in game 1 opposite Tyler Thornburg, both right-handers. Thornburg 1-0, Morton 6-3. Thornburg starting just his 4th game of the year. Low ERA of 194. Coverage begins at 1:30 on Root Sports. Glad you're with us from sold-out PNC Park. Pirates down in the count. 7-1. Cardinals with a 3-run first. Look at it started. Charlie Morton getting ready for tomorrow's start in Milwaukee. And those games, Bob, against the teams that are out of contention, like the Brewers and Cubs. Still 7 games to go with the Cubs. Still 4 with the Padres. And 3 more with the Brewers. Not to mention the 6 against the Reds, who are still in contention. And 3 more after today with the Cardinals. But you got to take care of business against those teams that are not in contention. They're certainly not going to lay down for anybody. Brian Morris takes over, and he will pitch to Molina.
Morris been getting a lot of 8th inning work of late. Taking over the Blanson job. Really was closing.
Molina grounds out to Alvarez, 1 gone in the 7th.
Morris gets a lot of Ball's hit on the ground.
Seth Maness warming up. He's warmed up last night, came in, pitched an inning. David Freese struck out looking. Had a 2-run double in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 to Freese. Ball 1 strike to the 3rd baseman for St. Louis. And lately, Bob, there's been a hiccup or two in the Pirates bullpen. I mean, it's been so good all season long, but just saw Wilson give up 2 runs in the 6th. I was looking to settle down here before the final month of the season really heats up. Starts today, but it's going to really heat up as things go along. Remember, 6 of the last 9 games are against the Reds. The Cardinals and Pirates will repeat this, but in St. Louis next weekend. 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Freeze lay off that one. That looked like a pretty good breaking ball that wasn't going to be a strike, but still, as it's coming in, it's just going to shave off that outside corner. He was able to say no to it.
Now stays 2-2. The Pirates should be getting some bullpen help back. Jason Grilli due to pitch again tomorrow. Had a good outing in Altoona, and he's made a rehab start last night.
With 4 hitters, just 13 pitches.
Yeah,
not bad.
Got up a hit to the leadoff guy, and then nobody else touched him after that.
Be a little nervous, I would think, going out there.
Starting?
No, just because of the arm injury.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, I don't think he's nervous starting.
No. Anything he does new is exciting to him.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't nervous because he was starting a Double-A game. It's just going out there with the injury problem and really putting a test to it.
Well, fans, MLB.TV celebrates 11 years. Catch the rest of the season in HD quality. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. John Jay at the plate, 2 down.
A lot of folks here this afternoon. Be great if they could see a big comeback. It'd be tough. Cardinal bullpen's been doing a much better job lately.
Morris 0-1 pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. This one fouled back. As it stands currently, the Reds are 6 up on the Diamondbacks in the National League wild card race. The Reds will be in that 2nd spot right now. The Reds playing Colorado within the hour. One-two pitch. Did he go? No. Held up. And it's 2-2. I noticed today, Bob, looking at the standings, the wild card standings, they've changed the sheet. Last night, you and I on radio had a discussion about how you didn't like how they wrote it up. They've changed it today. You notice?
Yeah, but if St. Louis wins this game, the Cardinals are going to pick up 4 games on Cincinnati. Kind of weird the way software works.
It is, isn't it? Base hit for John Jay with 2 outs.
Tomorrow it'll go right back to 9.5 games behind. Watch. It's because of the computer.
Right.
Wasn't programmed right.
Jody Mercer couldn't get that one.
Computers always have an excuse. They can always just say, well, you didn't program me right.
Computer's only as smart as the programmer.
That's what the computers say. They got a built-in excuse.
Pitch to Cosmo. Strike to Cosman. He's 0 for 3 today. He is 0 for his last 32. I would say that's a slump with a capital S. Buck keeps it in front of him. But if you looked at it from the computer standpoint, I think you'd be justified. But you're not looking at it from the computer standpoint. You're looking at it from a frustrated operator standpoint. Going back to what you said earlier, it's all push buttons these days. On 1. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Two outs and Jay the runner at first base. Jay has stolen 5 bases this year.
Certainly one of the issues for the Cardinals this year, or this month. It's been an issue for quite some time. And how they get offense out of that shortstop position. I'm sure a lot of work on the phones over the last month or so has been about that subject. Rafael Furcal was hurt in spring training.
Bouncer foul. Well, Cosmo's been playing out there. Also, Descalso has been playing out there. Descalso started in the game last night. The pieces the Cardinals have put together have been very effective for them. Look where they are. Strike 3 call. Cosmo now is 0 for his last 33. 7th inning stretch. The score, the Cardinals 7 and the Pirates 1. We're going to keep it here. Take your round. Sold out PNC Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you now to stand and join the Pirates and Major League Baseball as we offer support to our troops here and abroad. Joining us on the field today, representing the Wounded Warrior Project, is Sergeant Jeff Dryden of the United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Dryden served in the Marines from 2000 through 2006 with 2 separate tours in Iraq. In 2004 in Fallujah, while clearing a house of enemy forces, Sergeant Dryden was shot in battle. But we are pleased that he is recovering and able to be with us today back home in Pittsburgh. And now here to lead us with God Bless America are members of the Sweet Adelines Chorus.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies and on to the ocean, white with foam, God
Fans, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We invite you to follow the bouncing Eaton Park Smiley Cookie and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Seven runs, 11 hits, no errors for St. Louis. 1 run on 4 hits for the Pirates. At the bottom of the 7th inning, Jordy Mercer will face a new pitcher for the Cardinals. Right-hander Seth Maness comes in to take over for Joe Kelly, who went 6 strong innings.
And Maness numbers on the season, very good ERA, 2.09, a little over 50 innings of work.
Maness appeared last night in the 5th, backing up Lance Lynn. Gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 2. Ball and 1 strike. Jordy Mercer 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Grounded out to shortstop in the 5th inning. Some chance of let's go Bucks circling around PNC Park.
And Maness gets a lot of ground balls, 72%. The balls hit are on the ground off. Man, that's the best of either bullpen. It's a ton of them.
A lot of ground balls. Morneau visiting with hitting coach Jay Bell. Two balls, 2 strikes to Jordy today. Leva making a friend.
Oh, that's mild.
Jordy goes down looking. 1 out for the Pirates in the 7th.
Maness staying away. Got that last pitch right on the outside corner.
Hitting in the pitcher spot is Felix Piet. 308 so far this season. Limited duty with the Bucks. Came up during the San Diego series. Almost 2 years to the day of his last big league appearance with Baltimore.
Good speed. Good guy to have leading off and on base. 4 for 11 against right-hand pitching since he's been brought up for a 364 mark.
Piet grounded his second. Carpenter throws him out. Two out in the Pirates half of the 7th inning. Back to the top of the order, Neil Walker. Maness makes quick work out of Mercer and Piet. You said it last time. Pirates running out of outs.
I think just got kind of a rut, I think, with Kelly out there, and running out of time. The time to probably make a move was early in the ball game. After giving up the 3 runs, he you needed to do something to answer before Kelly could get himself in a roll, get that rhythm going. But once Kelly was able to put up 2 or 3 zeros, and it just got pretty easy for him after that.
No ball, 2-strike pitch. And that is quick work for Manus. He strikes out Walker. Pirates retired in order. We'll head to the 8th. 7-1 Cards.
The Cardinals, but some news on the Farmers. A couple guys have been promoted from within the Pirates system. First of all, Gregory Polanco goes from AA Altoona to AAA Indianapolis, and the two two first-round draft picks from this season, Reese McGuire and Austin Meadows, go to Jamestown. But with Polanco, the one thing that Neil Huntington wanted to do with with Polanco was to get him adjusted from his schedule, where he goes from 140 minor league game season to 162. They want to build him, condition him to continue to play longer seasons, and eventually when he gets to the big league level, he won't struggle. Now with the two guys, McGuire and Meadows, they get a little postseason experience. With the Gulf Coast League, they had a one-game playoff, were eliminated. Now they get brought up to Jamestown, where they're in a playoff push, and they're trying to get them some big game experience, Tim. And the other thing is they want them to get used to environments, clubhouse environments. They have to adjust to an established culture going from Florida up to Jamestown, and they want to see just how they adjust in their first season playing pro ball. So hopefully they do well.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do well with the Jammers. It's a nice spot for them to be in right now in the New York Penn League. And of course, Polanco moving up to AAA. Wish him the best of luck as well. So it's nice to see the young guys getting a chance to advance.
And the Gulf Coast League is kind of like a spring training type feel to it, because you play your games at Pirate City, where you get up to Jamestown, you're in a regular minor league facility, and it is a different feel for those guys. Well, get a little experience up there, they'll know more about what to expect next season when it gets underway.
Adron Chambers is the pinch hitter facing Tony Watson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chambers 2 for 12. 11 games. He's not back today as rosters expanded. Not back from AAA. Had a walk-off hit against the Pirates this season. Ground ball to the right side. Walker smothers it. Throws to first. He got it. Another nice defensive play by Neil Walker.
Really has been having a great year with that glove. A lot of his highlight reel type plays have been made to that backhand. But this time he goes to the left and comes up with a gem. That ball got right perfectly in the pocket of the glove. That's where you want that ball to go. It's going to stick in there almost every time. It's not going to bounce out, not going to dribble out when it gets out into the web or the heel of the glove. that play right in the middle.
One ball, no strikes to the second baseman, Matt Carpenter. One out, nobody on. Takes a strike, 1-1. That's also a Carpenter. Chris Carpenter has been out this year. Again, he's missed a lot of time with injury. Still thinks he can come back and help at some point. Two balls and one strike. Right shoulder injury for Chris Carpenter. He's missed 136 games this year.
Think about it, what their season might have been like if they had a healthy Chris Carpenter in that rotation, pitching like he has for most of his career.
He was hurt very early in spring training. In fact, the Cardinals DL'd him on the 22nd of February. Jason Mott, guy who came out of the bullpen late. Right elbow problem in March. They lost him. And Carpenter flies out. And there are two men gone for the Cardinals. Attendance today, 37,912. Another sellout crowd. Sellout number 18, one away from PNC Park's record set in 2001 of 19 sellouts during the season. The 18th sellout has passed what the Pirates did in all of 2011 and in 2012, where they sold out 17 games in each of those seasons. Robinson to right field on a base hit. His second hit of the game. He's been on base 4 times now. He's walked twice and hit twice.
Good speed. He's obviously somebody you want to keep off the bags in front of the middle of this lineup. Haven't been able to do it. It's one of your goals on any team. You don't want the guys up there hitting first and second to get on in front of the middle of the lineup. Pirates have been able to prevent that.
Matt Holliday facing Watson. Tony deals inside for a ball. And streaming over the Clemente Bridge back downtown.
Not the game that they were hoping for today. Can't win them all. When the series started, been perfectly happy with 2 out of 3. It's just when you win those first 2 and the opportunity is there for the sweep, it's not easy to take that loss at the end of the series.
3 in Milwaukee, 3 in St. Louis, 3 in Texas. Next time to see the Pirates here at PNC Park will be September 12th. First of a 4-game set with the Chicago Cubs. Ground ball toward the middle. Mercer flips to Walker, and he hung on, and Robinson is forced out. No runs a hit, 1 left to the bottom of the 8th. 7-1 Cardinals. shots from the Supermo today. And that is a one-man watercraft, a one-man pirate ship. The 18th sellout crowd of the year here at PNC Park, and time running out for the Pirates. They have won 2 games of this 3-game set so far. New left fielder is Adron Chambers. Matt Holliday is out, and that's where Trevor Rosenthal comes in the batting order. He's now pitching for the Cardinals.
Pretty good numbers for Rosenthal. Very busy season. 61 appearances now.
Garrett Jones now on the hole, 0-2.
A lot of youngsters on this staff for the Cardinals. A lot of youth they're depending on. They also have a lot of big fastballs. Some guys that can really bring it. A breaking pitch gets Jones to chase.
Jones 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Kyle Farnsworth is loosening up. Added to the roster today. And Hurdle's got some more tools in the toolbox now. I asked him about the rosters expanding and they have new acquisitions this week, and he just said we're better. Just better for the stretch run. More prepared than a year ago, certainly. The bench is deeper. Bullpen's deeper. Look at a guy like a Josh Harrison who can come off the bench and pinch run and maybe get you a double. Gabby Sanchez is going to come off the bench some nights. Marlon Byrd can play right and left field, and Clint told me yesterday Marlon told him he can even play center on occasion. Down on strikes, swinging through a 97-mile-an-hour heater is McCutchen. So McCutchen is 1 for 3.
Goes up and away with 97. Kutch the last few days has had a tough time with that high fastball, especially the one that's up away from him a little bit. He's been chasing after him and not getting any contact.
Pedro without a hit today. Flied out twice to left field and grounded to short. Two outs, bottom of the 8th, 7-1 St. Louis. Rosenthal's pitch. A long way out of play. And it's 0-2 quickly. And then it's fouled out of play. And don't forget tomorrow's game, an afternoon game on Labor Day, 2:10 Eastern Time. The first pitch. Coverage begins here on Root Sports at 1:30. Charlie Morton against Tyler Thornburg. And on this road trip, Pirates expect to guarantee themselves a winning record for the season. They've got 79 wins right now. You'll want to tune in and follow the Pirates as they go to Milwaukee, St. Louis, and to Texas to play the Rangers. And a pretty good inning, I'd say, for Trevor Rosenthal as he strikes out the side. Rosenthal impressive. We go to the 9th.
the Pittsburgh Pirates, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Walk busy, the river busy today, but Pirates offense not busy enough. 1 run on 4 hits. Cardinals 7 runs on 12 hits. Regardless of what happens here today, the Pirates will take this series. They've already guaranteed themselves a win in the season series. Winning 10 games out of the first 15. Kyle Farnsworth makes his first appearance as a Pirate. Farnsworth selected today from AAA Indianapolis. He went 1-1 with the Indians. This year with Tampa Bay, went 2-0. Designated for assignment by the Rays on the 9th of August, and then signed a minor league deal with the Pirates on the 17th.
Remember Farnsworth as a Cub. One of those real young, hard throwers. A lot like what we just saw from Rosenthal come in and pump fastballs, rush right by guys.
Strike 1 to Alan Craig.
That's still 95. Too shabby.
He was with the Cubs from 99 through 2004. Yeah, 0-1 to Alan Craig. Craig with 2 hits on the day. Now it's 0-2. .320 the average for Alan Craig. He has been very, very consistent this year and very good for St. Louis. 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Edward Mujica warming up for the Cardinals now. Craig 5th in the National League in batting average. And Farnsworth strikes him out. Well, Craig is down on strikes, 1 out in the top of the 9th.
Ball really had a lot of late drop to it. Like a splitter. Right over the top of the ball goes Craig's bat.
Yadier Molina hits chopper down toward third. Pedro fields it in fair territory with a bare hand, throws to first and gets him. They call a foul?
Yeah.
Foul ball. That was the most exciting foul ball of the day. Looked like Pedro might have taken that on the fair side. You see it starting to kick foul here.
Look at the shadow on the ground.
Yeah, but see, Bob, that hasn't gone across the base yet. And he's touched it.
Well, where's the sun at? Now, if the sun has already gone past us, and the shadow was on this side of the line, then it had to be a foul ball.
Walker with a great stab. Neil Walker takes a base hit away from Molina.
There's your highlight of the day. Been many of them, but it's been Walker. Walker's glove.
Walker getting it done again with the leather. He's made some good plays today.
Molina's hit the ball hard today quite a few times. This time at somebody.
Two outs for David Freese. Good defense in this series. Clint Barmas, both Friday and last night. Some great plays. Now Walker today. Neil talking to Ted Barrett, the umpire, standing right behind him. Two balls and a strike to Freese. Today, Freese had an RBI double in the third inning, scored 2 runs. That was the hit that chased the starter, Chris Johnson, out of the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kyle Farnsworth trying to get David Freese out, get the Pirates to the bat rack one more time today. Farnsworth makes us home now in Celebration, Florida. Nice name for a town.
Great name for a town. Celebration. I wonder where in Florida is. It's going to be somewhere around Orlando, huh? Disney World area.
A swing and a miss, and Farnsworth strikes out Freese. Good debut for Kyle Farnsworth. Retires the side in order, strikes out 2. Park. And on this week's edition of Inside Pirates Baseball, Marlon Byrd and John Buck arrive from the New York Mets. Mark Melanson talks about his College World Series experience. We recap our plays of the week and much more. It's Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network. Today after the postgame show on Root Sports. Edward Mujica will come on to try to get the final 3 outs for St. Louis today. And Mujica making his 56th appearance.
Hits that first batter pretty regularly, doesn't he? 80% of the time. Which would be a 200 batting average.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Amazing.
Mujica with 35 saves, just getting some work here today. 6-run lead for the Cardinals. Marlon Byrd will lead off. Justin Morneau and then John Buck to follow. Byrd takes a strike. Byrd 1 for 2 with an RBI base hit. The Birds watching Byrd.
Oh, lovey-dovey.
balls and 2 strikes for Bird. 76 runs batted in now for Marlin. He is second on the Pirates behind Pedro Alvarez, who has 86. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'd be good to get at the new acquisitions out on the road with the Pirates. Give them a chance to bond here in this road trip. Thing too about the acquisitions the Pirates made this year, Bob, in comparison to other years, they didn't take anybody out of the major league clubhouse. In other words, the players who were traded were on minor league rosters, where in the past major league guys were moved and some were well liked. There's a school of thought that says, well, you maybe upset the chemistry in the clubhouse. Well, the chemistry is good, and you got leaders like Morneau, and Bird, and mix them in with guys like Grilli and Burnett, and Walker, and McCutcheon. And Bird down to the left field corner. Adron Chambers chasing after it. Bird around first. He's into second base with the leadoff double.
He has been pretty impressive, hasn't he? Doesn't hit the ball softly very often.
No. He hits rockets. And with a stand-up double, the second hit of the game. All Adron Chambers can do is chase it off the wall. 29th double for Bird. Now Morneau had his first hit as a Pirate in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2. Foul. Pirate fan gets it. See, the Cardinal fan didn't get it. Pirate fan got it. Ball girl ignored that guy and gave it to the guy in black and gold. Morneau well struck. This ball is deep. Jay going back to the track. He makes the catch. Tagging from second and advancing to third is Marlon Bird.
Fans give Morneau a nice hand for that bullet. A couple of bullets in a row. Last time up, he ripped one just inside first. They keep trying to pitch him down, which, you know, that's where most lefties like the ball. And they throw him down, and he's just dropping ahead of the bat to it and hit it hard. But they did that last at bat. Get that down and in pitch. He ripped it inside first.
Buck is 0 for 3 today. Struck out twice and flied out. I'd like to get his teammate Marlon Bird in. Bird at third and 1 out. Buck. Look at his home run numbers. 15. Last home run came on August 15th at San Diego with the Mets. Buck has a good batting average in this ballpark. That's good to know with Bird at third base. 400 average here at PNC Park. In 3 games this season prior to today, he was 6 for 10 here. A lot of new faces on the plane today.
Like last time.
There's a base hit for Buck. That's going to score Bird, and it's 7-2.
New faces get us a run. Bird double, Morneau to third. Buck knocked him in. Pitch away a little bit. Lets it get deep into the strike zone. Right over the top of home plate. Looked like where he made the contact. Pounded it through the middle.
A one-out runner at first for Jordy Mercer. Jordy Mercer takes a strike. Well, so far so good with Marlon Byrd. John Buck, too, his fourth hit as a Pirate. Mercer just fouled on the right side. Well, Byrd producing runs. He produced a bunch of runs for the Mets and continues down that road with the Bucks, and that's what the Pirates need in September.
Excellent additions, that's for sure. Huntington deserves a ton of credit.
He's probably going to do it right here. That's the ball game. So the Cardinals salvage a game in this 3-game series, a 7-2 final score, and the Cards and Pirates now tied again atop the Central Division at the end of the weekend. So the Pirates will head to Milwaukee now, while the Cardinals head to Cincinnati. And we'll be keeping an eye on it for you as we continue on Root Sports tomorrow afternoon. 2:10 Eastern time, the first pitch, 1:30 coverage begins. But just a rough start for Chris Johnson today, and it didn't go any better for the Pirates after that.
No, 2 out of 3 from the team you're battling for first place. There's nothing wrong with that. And now you just go out on the road. You try to do the same thing every place we go, especially when we get to St. Louis in a couple of days. And everything will take care of itself.
So 7-2 the final score. Cardinals take this one. Let's send it over to Rob King and Kent Jacoby.
Tim and Bob, thanks very much. And Teague, I think I echo what Bob